Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chelsea and Adam are at the ranch. She's working on her sophistication while munching on his chips. He makes fun of her for stealing snacks, and they both chuckle. She tells him that Connor is upstairs as they begin to make out. He might walk in on them, so they must exercise caution. He advises them to inform their son that their relationship has changed. He asks, "Do you regret what we did last night?" She is eager to do it again and doesn't. She is concerned that their son could punish himself for his previous levels of happiness. She cannot risk triggering a flare-up of OCD. They are aware that anything can trigger their son. Adam is certain that their son wants them to trust him, which entails having faith in him. He tells her that Connor is the best of both of them and that he has matured a lot. They must trust that he can manage things. She takes his hand and warns him that there is no turning back if they tell him about them. "They'll make it work," says Adam. Their son writhes when he joins them. His parents say they are pleased with him and all the progress he has made, and they have wonderful news. He asks whether they are getting a dog after they repeatedly mention change. Chelsea and Adam clarify that they have made the decision to rekindle their romance. That, in his opinion, is the finest news. This was predictable, she adds as she sits with them, and she makes fun of them for not seeing it coming sooner. They were concerned that his OCD might prevent him from finding joy in this. He claims that his OCD is not a concern for him. Connor is overjoyed that they are once more a true family. He asks whether they are getting married and whether Sally and Billy are aware after requesting permission to tell others. They reassure him that it's acceptable for him to still care about Sally and Billy and tell him that he may tell everyone they are back together. They embrace after agreeing that everything is fine. Adam and Chelsea are ecstatic at how well things went after Carter leaves. She informs him they're back and they joke about munchies. She only needs the three of them together. They're fantastic. Diane informs Phyllis that the kidnapping sounds terrible as they cross paths at the GCAC. If she had died, Phyllis would have thrown a party, although she doesn't think she means that. Diane is adamant that she would not want Summer's mother to suffer any harm. No matter how vile she is, she wouldn't want what happened to her. Diane storms out, but Phyllis apologizes first. Diane is shocked by this and thinks it's a prank. As Phyllis emphasizes that her apologies was sincere, she sits. She gained a fresh viewpoint as a result of her terrible experience. She desires a fresh start. Diane doesn't believe that she has changed. According to Phyllis, she has changed her perspective and wants to give Diane a pass to show that she can. Phyllis claims she lacks the energy for this after they argue over who is out for good person points. After becoming stuck in a clinic, she needs a vacation. Diane consents to give in to her demands and act as a lab rat for her new outlook. "What were your words to me?" Phyllis loses her temper. Diane implores her to calm down as she yells at her and declares that she would never use her as a test subject. Diane asks why Phyllis is so upset and responds that she's open to peace while Phyllis drinks some coffee. As she begins to pant, Phyllis adds that her captor referred to her as a lab rat. Diane sincerely apologizes for this and offers to contact for assistance. The redhead implores her to simply leave. Diane encounters Billy while doing so and instructs him to see how Phyllis is doing. When Billy joins Phyllis, he realizes something is wrong. She informs him she can't breathe by tapping her chest. Thinking she's suffering a panic attack, he takes her outdoors to get some fresh air. Phyllis shouts that she enjoys the air when Billy takes her to the park. She claims that Diane irritates her. Her goal was to have a positive day. Before Diane arrived and sucked the zen out of her, everything was okay. Billy claims that's what she does. She describes how Diane made her feel weak by bringing up memories of the clinic. She's one of the strongest people she knows, Billy tells her. Phyllis acknowledges that she's having trouble with this. She recovers more quickly than most individuals. She will, he is certain. She simply must allow herself some time. She declares, "I don't have time." Phyllis wants to concentrate on her work. They talk about a podcast when he declares that they are prepared to take off. Billy informs her that Aristotle Dumas has contacted him and expressed interest in the business. That is a positive indicator, she thinks. She questions why he requires a second investor. Billy refuses to forego further financial gain. "Phyllis, do you want the truth? Chancellor's secret is Aristotle Dumas," he says. Dumas wants to return the Chancellor to him and make amends for what was done to him. This implies that Dumas pursues Victor while Billy maintains his personal hygiene. Phyllis believes he is insane. Traci tells Jack on the patio of Crimson Lights that she doesn't believe Alan is who he claims to be. She is unsure of who he is, not because she isn't thrilled to be engaged. What if the odd texts he received weren't an error? Could it be that he was anticipating them? When she links his texts to the kidnapping of Sharon and Phyllis, he is shocked. They were exploited as an experiment by their captor. Whoever took them, according to Jack, is a monster. Alan is a well-respected expert. Traci's anxieties are still present. They were gassed and one of the texts discussed gas ejection. The proposition was made quickly, and Alan departed the nation right away. Is something wrong, or is she insane? What if the man she is in love with isn't actually Alan? The Alan she knows is kind and would never do anything so bad. Jack is not happy with the direction this is taking. He responds, "That's crazy," when she expresses concern that Martin might have replaced Alan in Paris. She deserves to be happy, thus he finds this unbelievable. "It might all be too wonderful to be true," she says. When she questioned Alan about the texts, he began acting strangely, and there are several warning signs. She fears that while he was abroad, he initiated the entire incident. Jack will acknowledge that something is strange and recommend that they investigate. She becomes increasingly agitated and fears that she might have been fallen for Martin all along. None of this is her fault, according to her brother. She shouldn't travel to France by herself, according to Jack. They have some stuff to work out. She has already given Alan justifications for postponing her trip. At one point, Martin and Ashley pretended that Martin was Alan. Perhaps that was a forerunner? Jack holds her while stating that they must explain everything to Chance. She fears that Alan will never forgive her if she is mistaken. He believes she is correct. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Diane Jenkins Abbott has been making renovations to the home. But no one is certain what those plans are. The fact that the family is lodging in a hotel is sufficient. But may this all be related to Diane maintaining appearances when Alan Laurent allegedly flew off to Paris? Let's discuss the options after you finish reading. Unsolved Abbott remodeling fans are aware that Diane has been working on the Abbott Manses renovations for a few weeks. Jack Abbott was first afraid of what Diane would do to the house. Jack, after all, wanted nothing to change. Diane said there would only be minor adjustments, so why must everyone stay at a hotel? The Abbott renovations appear to be using a lot of scenes. It is a topic of repeated discussion. They are making a big deal out of a tale that is so uninteresting. Is this a sign that things is more complicated than it first appears? Jack Abbott's complete confidence. Jack first thought he would be informed of every development regarding the restoration plans. Then Diane showed him samples of wallpaper, which bored him to death. Perhaps this was done on purpose to give Diane time to focus on her actual plan. Anyway, with relation to this makeover, everyone has been doubting Jack's faith in Diane. I initially assumed that this was just the usual conduct of soap opera characters. But it could be more complicated than that. According to Diane Jenkins Abbott's coverage of The Young and the Restless spoilers, on Wednesday, March 26, 2025, viewers saw Sharon Newman unintentionally contribute to the resolution of a mystery. Traci Abbott became concerned that Alan Laurent might not be who he says he is after learning about the double kidnapping from Sharon. After that, according to Thursday, March 27, 2025 spoilers, Diane covers. What is it that Diane needs to hide? She has only been focusing on remodeling the mansion. It's also intriguing how Traci came to believe Alan would be the abductor of Sharon and Phyllis Summers. Perhaps there is a connection between these narratives. What is Alan Loren's upcoming project? The garbled voice during the second kidnapping made it obvious that it was really an experiment, as fans remember. The test participants were not killed by Alan or Martin, but it is irrelevant to this topic. The fact that Alan/Martin assured the prisoners that it was nothing personal, even if they were aware of sensitive information about them, is crucial. Additionally, Alan/Martin stated that it was only an experiment. Could Alan/Martin be getting ready for the real thing, then? That's just how it sounds. Alan stated that in order to prepare a surprise, he needed to spend a few days in Paris. But Alan might never have left Genoa City. Perhaps Alan's nasty secret is concealed by Diane's tiny changes to the remodeling. Will Traci find herself confined inside her own house? Regarding Diane's motivation, I don't believe she is malevolent. I really believe Diane is desperately trying to hide a lot of her prior secrets. Diane might be inspired to assist Alan only by that, but what if she is unaware of the extent of his willingness?